Hello everybody, it is Jester and I am your favourite stupid YouTuber because I've recorded this video once already and forgot to hit record on OBS but did on Audacity, so I am re-recording it. Hello and welcome to Jester Ranks Off for Adam Sandler movies. Now I thought this would be quite an easy list because I've seen so many Adam Sandler movies, but it turns out I've seen less than 50% of them that are on this list. So I've already sorted this out because obviously as I just explained, I've already recorded this. First of all, thank you very much to @Beastman1477 for making this list. Go and follow him. Thank you very much to Tier Maker for providing us a website to make these lists. So to begin with, let me show you this list. I've got the never seen list here, and I cannot remember half the names already. Obviously, you can see some of them there, but like some of them are just so cut off and just unrecognizable. I just don't know what they are, but they're the ones I don't know. So for me personally, here are the ones I'm ranking. It is Grown Ups, 50 First Dates, Pixels, 8 Crazy Nights, You Don't Mess With the Zohan, I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry, Billy Madison, Grown Ups 2, Happy Gilmore, my brain went then, Mr. Deeds, Little Nicky, Anger Management, The Wedding Singer, Click, Ridiculous 6, Bedtime Stories, Big Daddy, The Longest Yard, and Waterboy. Hey, Waterboy! So let's get into it, shall we? First of all, I'm going to get rid of this F row. Why is there an F row? Makes no sense at all. Let me just scroll so we can see what's going on here as well. Perfect. So, first of all, Grown Ups. Grown Ups is a very fun, entertaining movie. I would absolutely recommend it to you and all your friends. It is Adam Sandler basically adding all of his acting buddies finally together officially in one big movie to get everyone together to make a funny movie. And I think they achieved that goal quite well. One thing you will notice with Adam Sandler movies is there's a lot of recurring characters or recurring actors that play different characters. It's a very fun thing with the movies where it's like, oh, it's that guy and he played that in that movie, and oh, I remember seeing him in there and he was like there for some reason. Grown Ups is a good movie. I would recommend it. It's an A-tier movie, I think, personally. There we go. 50 First Dates. It's a rom-com, and don't get me wrong, I don't enjoy rom-coms at all. But Adam Sandler has actually made like 2 that I really enjoy. 50 First Dates, the whole premise is Adam Sandler falls for a girl who's got short-term amnesia. I think it's short-term amnesia. So every day is like a reset for her. Every day is like the same day for her. She doesn't remember anything that happened the previous day. It's basically Groundhog Day, but for like one person, and you're like seeing it from the exterior rather than the interior, if that makes sense. Like Groundhog Day, you're following the actor repeat the same day, whereas this, you're kind of watching that from the outside. It's a really good movie. Again, if you don't like rom-coms, it might not be your thing. I don't personally, but I think it is a good one. So for me, A tier. Pixels it's okay. It's got its entertaining moments. It's definitely not the best Adam Sandler movie. They kind of play around with stuff. I don't know. It's kind of hard to describe. It's an interesting movie. I can see where they were trying to go with it. I just don't think it was like that good of a movie. I couldn't tell you whether it was like the script or the actors or whatever. It's still good. I laughed. I think it's a D tier. I think it's a D tier movie. Like, a lot of this list is basically like, I still enjoy it and I've still watched it and laughed along. Would I watch it again? Is kind of like how I'm going to be looking at this list. And Pixels isn't one I'm going to ever watch again. Speaking of movies, I probably won't watch again because I don't even remember it now. In fact, I might have to watch it again just to be reminded of what it is. 8 Crazy Nights is an animated movie. And I know I've watched it. But I can't remember why. I can't remember what the movie is. So it's going to have to go D tier just because it's like left such a non-impression on me. You Don't Mess With the Zohan is a brilliant movie. There's 2 lessons to be learned from You Don't Mess With the Zohan. One, if you're not getting a lot of business coming through your shop, put a sign up saying you're going out of business, and suddenly everybody's flocking over and coming to sample your wares. And also, there is a perfect ass to tits ratio for a lady. Don't shoot the messenger. I don't agree with that. I'm just saying that's what the movie teaches. I don't think it's right, but there it is. It's a funny movie, but it's trash. It's vaguely offensive in 2020. I think it's a C tier movie. You Don't Mess With the Zohan. I'd still watch it again, but it's terrible, and maybe you shouldn't. I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry. The whole premise of this is they pretend to be gay and get married for some kind of benefit, and I can't remember what that is. I don't remember it being like that good of a movie, if I'm honest. I don't remember like having many giggles, many laughs at it, so I'm gonna throw that into the D tier as well. It just, again, didn't leave an impression. Speaking of movies that did leave an impression, Billy Madison. Billy Madison is like one of 4 or 5 movies I watched growing up with my dad. I explained in the previous video, but like For some reason, my dad was massively into Adam Sandler in like the late 90s, early 2000s. We used to go over there quite a lot for weekends because parents were separated. So we'd end up watching like a movie on a Friday night and something like that. And then it was quite often an Adam Sandler movie. And I still don't know how he got into Adam Sandler. I should ask him at some point because it's his thing. But no, again, it got me into into Adam Sandler, and I really enjoyed like quite a lot of these movies. That's why I feel like, you know, it's a tier list I can do. Couldn't do a Brad Pitt movie one because I'm not really into Brad Pitt, but someone out there's like, who's not into Brad Pitt? Me. You know, he's not a right actor, I guess, but I couldn't rank his movies. I don't watch enough of them. Adam Sandler, I felt like I did, but apparently I've not even watched half of them, so whatever. Billy Madison has many memorable quotes. One of my favourites being him being in the bath and going, "Shampoo is better. I go on first and clean the hair. Conditioner is better. I leave the hair silky and smooth. Oh, really, fool? Really?" And then him yelling at a swan. It's really funny. It's great. It's such a dumb movie, but it's a good movie at the same time. Really funny. So I'm going to put it into the S tier. Grown Ups 2 is Grown Ups, but it's the same movie, but things are slightly changed. It doesn't really improve on Grown Ups. So for that reason, I'm going to leave it in B tier and call it a day. Happy Gilmore is the story of a man who would like to be really good at ice hockey, but apparently isn't. I felt like he was alright, but apparently he's not very good at it and doesn't get picked multiple times, ends up going mad at somebody. And then a old golf pro takes him under his wing to teach him how to be a golf player. It's got a lot more story to it. It's quite a good story. It's a wholesome story in the background as well. But it's also a very funny story as well, including the guy who did Price is Right at the same time. I forget his name. It's terrible of me. But going, the price is wrong, bitch. Without context, it's not as funny, but it's definitely an S tier movie that you should spend time watching. Next up is Mr. Deeds. The premise here is he's in a backwater village town. Nobody really knows anything. He's friends with everybody. And then he inherits a lot of money, and I forget where it goes from there. I should probably go back and watch it at some point, because I do remember enjoying the movie. But again, it's a bit of a one I haven't gone back to watch for whatever reason. I think it's okay. I think we keep it at B tier for now. I think that's an acceptable place for that to be. Little Nicky is the story of a boy who is one of 3 sons of the devil, who's just trying to be a nice guy on Earth. It's a really fun movie. There's probably a lot of jokes these days that don't fly so well in 2020, but I still think it's a very enjoyable movie. It's got some great moments. There's even a scene, you don't see it, but there's a scene where Hitler gets a pineapple shoved up his ass. So if you don't like Hitler but like pineapples, there's a positive for you. I think Little Nicky is definitely an A tier movie. Anger Management, I've watched it once. It has Jack Nicholson in it. I don't remember much of it other than the way to manage anger. And to be fair, I use this occasionally. Is going, Goose Rabba. It might be based in real life. I've no idea. I've never done research on it. I don't care enough to. But it's not a movie I've ever gone back to watch. I don't remember it being all that funny. So I think that's a C tier for me. And again, mentioning the rom-coms, The Wedding Singer is a really good movie as well. If I remember right, there's some kind of like Wedding Crashers vibe going on to it as well, but I can't remember. I should go back and watch this movie, and it may move up my personal rankings, but I think it's good at B tier. It's a good rom-com, don't get me wrong. I really enjoy it, but yeah, for some reason I can't remember much of it. Click. Now, Click has a very special place in my heart because it's a movie that actually has made me cry. There's not many of them, but long story short, I'm very good at putting myself emotionally into like the shoes of whatever character I'm watching, be it in a movie or a game. I don't want to spoil Click, so I'm going to spoil something else, and that is Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. If you don't know what that game is or what it's about, you don't want spoilers, I'm going to raise my finger, and when I drop it, I'm done talking about spoilers. So spoilers for Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. The little brother gets poisoned, and the big brother tries to find him a cure for that, and basically fails to, and the little brother dies, and I already feel myself getting emotional about it. And I ended up crying because I put myself in the shoes, obviously, of me being the big brother and my little brother being the little brother, and I'm like, oh God, how would I feel if that was my little brother? Click has a very similar moment in it, Brothers, spoilers over. I don't want to ruin what that moment is because it, might ruin the impact a little bit if you haven't watched the movie. I know it's old, but I'm not a person that's going to talk about what happens in a movie just to ruin it for everybody else. For me, I think Click is actually an S tier movie. It's got some absolutely great moments. It's almost like how I feel about Scrubs, where it's very funny, but then it has like one or two just bang impactful moments, and it just hits you so hard because you're so used to it being funny. So yeah, Click is actually an S tier movie for me. Ridiculous Six. I remember it being a good movie as far as the comedy is concerned, but I don't really enjoy country movies. Or Western movies, whatever you want to call them. I ended up calling them country and Western movies the other day when I was recording something else. So, yeah, I think for me, Ridiculous Six, C tier. Bedtime Stories, I've seen it. I can picture myself in a local rental store, picking the DVD up with my dad, saying, can we watch this one? Him going yes, going home and watching it, and then going back to my mom's house. I don't remember the movie at all. I don't know what happened in the movie. I couldn't tell you. I know I've seen it. I just cannot remember what happened in the movie. So I think that has to be a D tier. It maybe technically should be never seen because I just have no memory of it. But no, I think it's a fair place to put it for D tier for now. Big Daddy is the story of Adam Sandler taking his roommate's son because his roommate isn't there and he just ends up saying yes to something. It's a great story. It's how to raise a child, basically. Very good, very educational. There's a character called Scuba Steve. Scuba Steve is awesome. And I also learned that if I put sunglasses on, I'm invisible and no one can see me. That's a fact. Every time I put sunglasses on, people driving past me in the van, they go, who the hell's even driving that van? What the hell? It's incredible. It's great power comes great responsibility. And I'm not responsible at all. So Big Daddy, absolutely an A tier movie. It's one of like the 4 or 5 that are just like fantastic from that era. But I'd absolutely recommend a couple more over that one. The Longest Yard. Adam Sandler goes to jail after doing something naughty. He used to be a professional American football player. They come up with a whole gimmick thing where, because there's a prison league where the guards all compete against each other in American football. They have an idea to do prisoners versus the inmates. There's a whole story along with it. If you like wrestler cameos from the Attitude Era in WCW, it's great fun. Goldberg's in it. Gets referred to as the Hammer. There's a reason in the movie itself, but also anyone who knows Goldberg is like, oh, okay, yeah, I get the reference. Great Carly's in it. There's a few different wrestlers. It ain't easy being cheesy. Great quote. I think it's a B tier movie. It's got some good moments in there. It's not the best movie as far as stories, production, or whatever's concerned, but I really enjoy it. And finally, hey, Waterboy! Waterboy is the movie where, you know the whole be careful who you call ugly in middle school meme comes from? That's not where the meme comes from, but it's like, be careful who you're mean to, basically, because they might be amazing. Turns out this guy's got a wicked spear. So, yeah, again, won't ruin the movie, but Waterboy's got some fantastic moments, including a crocodile that's laid out as like a platter during a meal. A lawnmower that goes incredibly fast because an attractive lady tunes it up for Adam Sandler. It's an A-tier movie. I think it's a very fun movie. It's one of those that you should watch. There's like the 5 that I would always recommend to anybody if you want like an idea of how good Adam Sandler was back in the 90s. It's Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, Big Daddy, Little Nicky, and Waterboy. They're all brilliant movies. So there it is. There's the Adam Sandler list. I'm going to revisit this video at some point. I'm going to do like a part 2 where we actually rate the rest of these movies that we haven't done. Because I will go back and watch like all of these that are good. What I might do as well is get my dad to do his own version of this list as well. He's probably seen like a lot less of these movies. Like I don't think he's seen like Ridiculous Six and 8 Crazy Nights and stuff like that. But he's seen a few of these, and I'd love to see where his are compared to mine. It might be an interesting video to do, but we'll see if he's into doing something like that. But for now, guys, the S tier is Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, and Click. A tier is Grown Ups, 50 First Dates, Little Nicky, Big Daddy, and Waterboy. Waterboy. B is Grown Ups 2, Mr. Deeds, Wedding Singer, and The Longest Yard. C is You Don't Mess with the Zohan, Anger Management, and Ridiculous Six. And D tier is Pixels, 8 Crazy Nights, I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry, and Bedtime Stories. Guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did and want to see more content like this, I do many videos on youtube.com/Jester on demand. To see my content live, it is twitch.tv/Jestertainment. And see what I'm ranting about this week, twitter.com/Jestertainment_. If you want to support the channel, there are many ways to do it, and they are in the description below. And hey, if you're on TikTok, I do that now as well, so maybe check that out. I don't know. I don't know how good of a platform that's going to be for me, but I like cutting down some of the clips and chucking them up there, see how they do. So there we go. Boys and girls, thank you very much for watching. Hope you have a great day, and I shall see you in the next one. See ya.
Goodbye.